Hi.
A couple of days since the win over Fulham at the weekend, just how pleased with you with that victory and the mentality you showed to get over the line?
Well, very happy obviously, and especially after international breaks when you know that you have to again align and regroup everybody, and you could tell that in the first 10 minutes that we were a bit still getting that rhythm, but afterwards I think watching the game back that we deserve to win the game. There are things to improve, but we take the win and we move on now for the Champions League match.
And just a question on fitness. Heynkapie trained before the match against Fulham but wasn't in the squad, saw him on the pitch earlier. Is he available for tomorrow?
Yeah, he will be available, and I think that game came a bit too early for him, so he had another 2 very good sessions, and now he's ready to go.
And coming up against Simioni tomorrow, even one of the world's best managers, how highly do you rate him?
Well, at the highest level. I mean, I think what he's done since he got to Atletico has been outstanding. Not only what he have achieved, but the way he's done it. I think the identity that he has created to the club, to the team, the spirit, I think they are very simple and clear to identify, and that's because the manager is very much them. And that's extremely difficult to achieve for a short period of time, and to do it for 14 years, I think he's been there now, it's something incredible. So yeah, a pleasure to meet him.
After the match there was a picture that went around of William Saliba on the team coach already watching Atletico Madrid. How did that come about, and how pleased you see your players already turning on to the next fixture? Very
pleased, because I didn't encourage it. So it came from them, and that's the most powerful thing, that a game finishes, the job is done, and we've done it, but now, okay, what's next, and what's the next challenge, what's the next opportunity? And we know that it's going to be a really tough one, so the earlier we start to think about it and prepare, the better. So I love that initiative from the players, and it tells you how much they want it, and how focused they are in what is next.
Dharmesh from Sky.
Hi.
You mentioned Diego Simeone there, approaching 14 years. You're approaching 6 years at Arsenal. Do you look at Simeone as maybe an inspiration and maybe something that you'd like to do at this club?
Well, obviously there is someone that I look up to and learn from it in many situations, and what is for me outstanding is his passion. I think for how long he's been in the game and in the same club with the same players, how you still have that handle and that capacity to transmit such an energy and willingness to win. And then, yeah, it's a very tough environment that we live in, and to keep convincing players, you have to be extraordinarily well. I don't know him personally, but everything that I heard about him is that he is so good at doing that. That's the reason, one of the reasons why you are able to sustain at that level.
He's been linked with the Premier League on numerous occasions. Is he someone you'd like to see come to the Premier League?
It's gonna get tougher. We have enough and super good managers here, so I don't know. That will be completely up to him. If one day he wants to experience that, what I can say is that what I've seen, and after analysing the team, how well they are coached.
Just reflecting on your last 3 games in the Premier League, there's 1 point from those 3 games last season. You've got 9 out of 9 this time. What's changed, and what lessons have you learned, not just from those games but from last season?
Well, we have to obviously get as much information as we can and understand the reasons why we dropped at some points there, and then try to implement them. But to be fair, sometimes from a draw to a win, there are details and things that have to go your way. But it's true that the team shows a different kind of maturity, threat, and probably conviction at this stage. But it's still very early. We have to do it now for another 30 games, and that's going to be the objective.
You say it's very early. The bookies have already made you the favourites for the title. Do you embrace that? And do you think you are the favourites now?
The only thing that I embrace is when I see the team, the energy, the temperature, the commitment, and the quality that they can deliver, that it gives me that conviction that we can go all the way. But that's it. That's just a feeling that the next day you have to prove it, the next training session you have to prove it, and nothing else, and we cannot be busy thinking about those topics.
Thank you.
Simon Standard.
Okay, just on carrying on with Simeone, when you started here, did you look at the way Atletico, how he sort of moulded the club's culture and his image, and you took from that something you wanted to do when you tried to mould the culture here?
No, I think I would I got that done more through my experiences and my beliefs, and especially my understanding of Arsenal and this football club I am experienced here. Because I think to put different contexts to this one, it's extremely difficult. And at the end, I think you have to be authentic to your belief, your way of dealing with people, especially, which is the most important thing when you talk about culture. And slowly, you have an idea, and you have to, after through that, sometimes change a little bit the trajectory to understand what is the best for the club.
I just wanted to ask you one on the defence. Obviously, the numbers have been incredible this season. We've seen Heinz, who joined in the summer. We see a lot of the warm-ups in working with the defenders, very animated. What's he sort of brought to the defence this season, and what is he like as a coach that he's added to your setup this year?
Well, I think that's something very, very collective with all the coaches, with the players, with their commitments as well. And Gabi added something different, that willingness to will, I think. And we've seen that obviously through his career, that experience to win and to elevate somebody's level and ambition and drive to the highest limit. And he's extraordinary at that.
Tom, Football London.
Hi, Mikel. Of course, one of your main title rivals at the weekend failed to win, Liverpool against Manchester United. Do you ever notice on the training field after one of your main rivals has failed to win that your players perhaps have a bit more of a spring in their step during a training session?
I haven't noticed that, but obviously there is a lot of narrative afterwards. But that's it. I mean, every game in this league, it's a must-win and a very difficult game to win. And we all, I think, very appreciative of that. So you don't get carried away with any of that.
And just on Diego Simeone as well, when you come up against a manager who's been in place for such a long period of time, does that in any way make your preparation for perhaps what you might expect from them easier? Or because there's so much data and so much evidence, does that in some ways make it harder to prepare for a game?
Well, on this one, I think the hardest thing is the time that you have, basically a day when you can't really do much to prepare that. Obviously, understanding and the time that we have spent to analyze them and understand that. They have evolved as well for the team that they were probably a year ago to now, and how they can change as well in relation to the context of the match, which is something very specific for this team. And in order to after prepare the best way, you want to give them everything, but how you're able to simplify the information and make it as concrete, as clear as possible for being in the best position to implement what we want to do tomorrow.
James, ESPN.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Can you just give us an insight into what makes Diego Simeone's team so difficult to play against and break down?
Well, first of all, the willingness to win. You can sense that in every single ball, in every single yard, the way they play. So it's about how they compete, and then after how they play. And I think there are two very different things. And in order to after analyze what they are, the level of organization is really high. The level of discipline is really high. And then they have acquired a lot of talent throughout the years that are very specific for the needs and the way they want to play, and they are very, very, very good at exploiting those opportunities.
As Dom said, he has been linked with a move to the Premier League for years. I mean, do you think he could be successful? Do you think what he does in Spain in the Champions League could work in England?
Well, if you work in the Champions League, which is the highest competition in Europe, he can do it anywhere. And I don't know, you have to come here and try it and feel it, but I'm very sure that his know-how is unbelievable, and his character and willingness would take him anywhere, I think.
And just finally for me, obviously the set-piece record improved again at Fulham. Can you just talk a bit about the work that goes into maintaining that threat? Because you've been good at it. It's not a fluke, it's been 2-3 years where new routines come, the unpredictability is always there. Can you just talk a bit about the work that goes into maintaining that over such a long period?
Well, keep evolving and keep improving. It's a system that when you put it in place, the system has to learn every single day, every single game to become better. And that's in relation to the players that we have and what we learn from ourselves, and as well what we learn from the opposition, and try to be as consistent as possible. And in order to do that, you have to give importance to certain topic to become really important. We try to do that in the way that we share the time and the focus in game preparation, and then is delivery.
Yes, and Qadmه.
Hi, Mikel. With Gabriel Heinz, you just said before about his willingness to win, and he's obviously won a lot of titles in his playing career. In the drills, he's often one-on-one with the players before and after the games. What does he kind of bring to the table in terms of the one-on-one scenarios with players?
That experience, I mean, somebody tells you if you do that, you're going to be successful, and you know that he's done it and he's been successful, it's a lot of credibility there.
And how have the players reacted to him? He's obviously a very passionate person. Also, I don't know, but from what you can see, how have the players kind of reacted?
It's a question for me. My feeling is that they already love him, which is normal, but the rest of the coaches is the same. They are all very different characters, but the relationship and the bond that we have with the players, I think it's unique, and I think that's something very, very powerful in a team.
Okay, I think we'll take a few questions in Spanish now. Spanish in the back?
Sí.
Yeah. Sí, yeah.
Miguel, ¿qué tal?
Hola.
Luis Viñas, del periódico El Mundo. Quería preguntarte un poco desde el 4, cuando estaba
I want to talk about
Mikel Merino.
2024 and Mikel Merino.
¿Cómo conseguís que Mikel al final termine en el Arsenal?
How did you manage to get Mikel to Arsenal? We wanted him here for the project. We wanted him to meet us. We wanted him to feel happy here and succeed with the qualities that he has. He was lots of teams were interested in him, but he eventually wanted to come here. Getting to know all the players is really important for us. Thinking about Gabriel. Gabriel played against Fulham. Let's talk about his leadership. He plays a fundamental role for us, and the captains. He really wanted to play at Fulham, play his own version. He showed a lot of maturity and personality, and he really influenced the result with a lot of character.
Sé que has hablado bastante en inglés de Simeone, pero quería preguntarte por esos puntos en común y diferencias entre el proyecto que ha creado Simeone en el Atlético de Madrid.
What are the similar points between your project and Simeone's project? My view is the admiration and the level of consistency, the results, the identity, the work that he puts in. Such large clubs who have experienced a lot of difficulties, have a good team around you. It's important to have this mentality in this job.
Llegáis líderes, solo 3 goles encajados en Premier, en Champions también habéis encajado goles. En toda la temporada habéis perdido una vez contra el Liverpool. No sé si el equipo llega en el mejor momento para enfrentarse al Atlético.
Creo que estamos en un momento bueno, pero luego vamos a enfrentarnos a otro rival que nos va a exigir muchísimo y mañana vamos a tener que...
We hope that tomorrow we're going to have success in the game. This is what's important, and what happens after. We can think about after. And we can think about that difficult after.
¿Qué tal, Miguel? Hugo Ramírez de Televisión. Preguntarte, teniendo que Atlético de Madrid es un colectivo y que tal vez desde el envío anímico cambió a partir del derbi, pero un jugador relevante, y no hay que ser brujo, pero Julián Álvarez. ¿Qué nos puede decir un futbolista como Julián Álvarez que está dando un nivel superlativo para aparecer en esta temporada?
How is important is Julián Álvarez? I've seen what he's done. I've seen what he's done for the national team. What he's reached, what he's achieved has made a difference for them.
Miguel, te comentaba el compañero un caso que pasó en 2024 con un jugador como Merino que se decantó por el Arsenal en vez de fichar por un equipo de Madrid. Este verano podríamos decir que ha pasado algo similar con Martín Zubimendi, que llega al Arsenal este verano también, pues pudiendo tener la posibilidad del Real Madrid.
I want to talk a bit about Martin Zubimendi.
Primero, cómo convencer, en el caso que pasó con Merino, pues cómo convencer a Zubimendi, y después ¿Cómo valoras tú su llegada a la Premier? Porque siempre se habla
How did you convince Zubimendi to come to the Premier League?
Pero parece que Zubimendi estaba hecho para jugar en este Arsenal, y si es la pieza que le faltaba a este equipo para terminar de funcionar.
Bueno, yo creo que más que convencer, al final es transmitirle la idea que tenemos con él.
I told him the ideas that we had
Para nosotros,
and
se va a encontrar
how he wanted to play here would be ideal.
como club, es nuestra historia, lo que transmite.
We have an amazing history as a club, and he saw that.
Una vida alrededor nuestro.
We wanted him to live the life we have here and achieve what we're doing here.
Tratábamos de transmitir que se lo sentía.
We tried to show that to him, and he felt that.
Posición, y yo he visto mucho el vídeo durante más de 20 años en esta liga, y es una posición muy difícil de asentarse porque no es una cuestión solo de jugar, es una cuestión de rol.
It's not just a question of playing.
Requiere muchas cosas.
There's many different assets to coming to the club. You have to respect everyone. You have to feel comfortable. And I think he feels comfortable here.